Learning what Greenwich waterfront real estate has to offer can be challenging, to say the least. Many areas are private with gated security, and you may only have a few options on the market at any given time. How do you know if the home is in a tighter community or if the community offers more privacy? What are the views like? Do you look over a mudflat to an industrial park, or is there a picturesque island cluster just offshore? Can you get out of the dock at low tide? What amenities are nearby? Village areas, high-end shopping, restaurants, or clubs that you can join? These are some of the questions that our clients ask. Not only am I going to answer these questions, I'll show you the view from every direction and give you access to a waterfront market report so that you can see what's available now and what has sold recently. Let's go. If we haven't already met, my name's Vinci. I'm a Greenwich Realtor. The waterfront report I promised is available at the link on the screen and in the YouTube description. Let's start in Byram Shore. If you're heading towards Greenwich from Manhattan, this would be the first waterfront neighborhood along Connecticut's Gold Coast. You'd find the highly sought after waterfront property along Byram Shore to have magnificent views. When you look southwest from Byram Point, you'd see the Portchester Harbor with views of Portchester and Rye, New York. Living in the small private community on Byram Point allows you to access the relatively large and sandy Hawthorne Beach. Speaking of beaches, many of the homes in the neighborhood have a private beach and the water is deep in most locations, making it ideal for access to your dock at all tides, even with larger boats. To the southeast, Byram Shore offers a cluster of offshore islands that enhance the already beautiful waterfront. Shore Island, just a few hundred feet off the coast, is privately owned. However, you can reach Shell Island by kayak or powerboat. It's owned by Greenwich Land Trust and boasts a magnificent tower. At low tide, it's connected to the federally owned Calf Island, allowing you to explore both at the same time. Both offer sandy beaches, and on the west side of Calf Island, you'll find a bird sanctuary. If that wasn't enough, Greenwich offers two more islands just a bit farther off the coast that are public and accessible by ferry. Great Captain Island has a lighthouse, beach, hiking trails, and bathrooms. And if you want to access the island with your own private boat, there are moorings just offshore. Although Great Captain Island is well developed, the adjacent island, named Island Beach, takes it to another level. Not only does it have ferry access, bathrooms, and a well-groomed beach, but it has food too. In case you're wondering, the small island that you see just offshore of Island Beach is privately owned. I'd love to stay here all day, but we have some magnificent waterfront to explore. So let's head back to the Byram Shore Boat Club. The Byram Shore Boat Club is open to all Greenwich residents and requires sponsorship. It's an excellent place for a small powerboat if you don't have a dock. The small cluster of islands that you see as we approach the marina are privately owned. Adjacent to the boat club, you'll find Byram Park. It's a wonderful place for a stroll, to play tennis, practice your game on the baseball field, sunbathe on the beach, let the kids burn off some steam on the playground, or take a swim in the waterfront pool. It's open exclusively to all Greenwich residents. Next, let's head over to Belhaven. This is a private community with beautiful and varied architecture. Some of the parts are gated. All areas have security and guardhouses. You'll find some of Greenwich's most valuable real estate right here. To the west, you'll have views of the previously mentioned Byram Park and its beautiful sandy beach, along with the marina and some of the private islands just offshore. Did you notice the city along the horizon? That's Manhattan. To the south, you'll have sweeping views of Long Island Sound with Great Island and Island Beach off in the distance. If you look closely along the horizon, you'll see Long Island, New York. Along the southern coast, you'll find Belhaven Club with its tennis courts, marina, beach, and oceanfront pool. To the east of the club, notice how magnificently large the lots are around Field Point Circle. These are truly some of the finest waterfront estates along the Gold Coast. Many have deep water docks and a few have private beaches. If you were considering a property that looks east, you'd have views over Greenwich Harbor with the communities of Indian Harbor and Meade Point off in the distance. The city that you see along the horizon is downtown Stamford. This is Greenwich Harbor. It's just south of the high-end shopping on Greenwich Ave. It boasts several marinas with the ability to accommodate larger powerboats and sailboats. The small landmass on the left of the harbor is Steamboat Road, and it's a great location to explore if you're looking for a waterfront condo. Another great option just steps from Greenwich Avenue is the community of Indian Harbor. It's gated, and one of Greenwich's best parks, Bruce Park, is just steps beyond the gate. Bruce Park is a wonderful place to walk, run, or go for a bike ride.
To the west, you'll have views over Smith Cove to Steamboat Road.
And on the southernmost tip, you will gaze across Greenwich Harbor to Belhaven. If you're lucky enough to have a rare southern view, you'll see Tweed Island and Brush Island, which are private. Views to the east are over Indian Harbor, and the landmass just across the way is Meade Point. Let's go take a closer look. Meade Point is a private, gated community with security. It offers a beautiful sandy beach to its residents, is a few minutes to town with Bruce Park just outside the gates. To the west, you have views of Indian Harbor. To the south, you have sweeping views of Long Island Sound, and to the east, you have views over the Coscob Harbor with Greenwich Point Park off in the distance in some cases, with the closer landmass being the neighborhood of Riverside. Let's take a look at the picturesque Coscob Harbor. As you can see, Coscob Harbor is an excellent location for large powerboats and sailboats. You'll probably recognize this view if you've ever had the pleasure of gazing south while passing over the Mianus River Bridge on I-95. The bluish colored bridge is the Metro North train line that runs south to Grand Central Station. The park that you see just beyond the bridge is Coscob Park, and it's another fine example of all that Greenwich has to offer. As we approach Long Island Sound, you'll notice 3 islands. The first is Goose Island, which is under conservation. The second and third are Diving Island and Bluff Island, respectively. Both are public and accessible by kayak or small powerboat. Next, let's take a look at one of Greenwich's most popular neighborhoods, Old Greenwich. There's a lot to love about Old Greenwich. It has its own independent village area, and there's hardly a reason to leave the neighborhood because it has everything you'll need on a daily basis, including a train station, grocery store, banks, coffee shops, great restaurants, a butcher, and more. Since this is a waterfront tour, I'll leave it at that, but if you want to learn more, check out our Old Greenwich neighborhood tour. The other feature that sets this neighborhood apart is the stunningly beautiful Greenwich Point Beach and Park, which in my opinion is the best waterfront park in the entire Gold Coast. You access the 147-acre park by a narrow strip of land, which gives it an island-like feel, but allows easy access by car, foot, or bike. It's well developed with concession stands, a marina, bathrooms, trails, and a beautiful stretch of beach. New York City and Long Island are easily visible on a clear day. There are no gated communities in Old Greenwich, but you will find many private roads and communities along the coast. Some of these communities have private beaches and/or docks available to their residents. You will also find that some of the homes have their own private beach or dock. Your best option for a deep water dock is going to be along the eastern coast of the neighborhood, although the Old Greenwich Yacht Club may be a better option depending on your needs. Views to the west look over Greenwich Cove to the neighborhood of Riverside. To the southwest, you'll have views of a few public islands, Great Island being the most significant. Views to the south are mostly of Greenwich Point Park. Views to the east look over Stamford Harbor. You'll notice the peninsula of Chapin off in the distance, with the smaller peninsula closer to shore being the community of Dolphin Cove. Both offer an excellent waterfront value. You can learn more about them in our Stamford waterfront tour. You may have noticed that Old Greenwich is a tighter community than the other waterfront communities, but if you love the amenities that OG offers and you want a larger lot, I have an option for you in the neighboring peninsula of Riverside. Let's take a look. At any given point in Riverside, you are only about 5 minutes away from the Old Greenwich Village, giving you easy access to the things you'll need on a daily basis. There are a couple of communities with private beach access in Riverside, the most notable being Harbor Point, which is gated with security. It also offers a small marina. You're going to find that some of the roads leading to the waterfront are private. The southwestern tip of the peninsula is the best location for a deep water dock, but if you aren't fortunate enough to find a suitable property to meet your needs, there's also the Riverside Yacht Club. You can learn more about Riverside in our extended Riverside neighborhood tour.
Views to the west look over Coscob Harbor to the community of Meade Point.
The islands that you see are the previously mentioned Goose Island, Diving Island, and Bluff Island. To the south, you'll have sweeping views of Long Island Sound. If you're on the eastern side of the peninsula, you'll have views across Greenwich Cove towards Greenwich Point Park and Old Greenwich. If you're thinking about buying a home, call me. I'd like to work with you. While you're at it, head over to my site, grab one of the many guides, maps, or reports that I've created. I look forward to hearing from you.